What's up, everybody? It's Supersmallchibiwolf here, and today I'm going to be talking about the satisfying yet annoyance of backlogs. Whether it's gaming, manga, shows, movies, etc. As long as you have like a list of things you want to do, this is going to cover all of that stuff. So, yeah, let's get into this. So, I've decided to break this down into three categories: gaming, movies, and slash shows or other stuff, and books like manga and other things. So, yeah. Now, of course, there's a lot of other things that could be backlogged and all that stuff, but me being me and this channel being this channel, this is the all three I'm going to focus on. So let's get into this. First, gaming. Gaming backlogs. Oh, yes. Now, I would say this. When it comes down to gaming backlogs, my advice is start with the smaller games, the ones that's simple, and try to avoid playing more of those online or fun games because you tend to get into it a lot. Don't get me wrong. We all love the Mario parties, but a long game of Mario Party or say Splatoon 3 or something, that's going to be time consuming, which is time you could put in a JRPG, So that's just how I see it. How I recommend doing it is, you know, play those fast paced games like, Splatoon and all that really doesn't require that much. And as little bits, but then focus mostly on big games like, say, Luigi's Mansion over here, which is a longer game than, all of that stuff. So that's my advice for that. Now, when it comes down to watching stuff, man, let me say, many shows, and, they tend to have 100 plus episodes, sometimes 200 plus, and it's like, oh, wow, this is going to be in an entire month. Okay, just watch it. But in my opinion, um, when it comes down to watching stuff, I would say maybe 3 to 5, episodes a day. After, of course, your responsibilities are done. You know, I would personally say when it comes down to watching things, movies are simple. 1 2 hours, boom, 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 boom. You could get that done. Similar to like the gaming wise. Fast paced, smaller games, boom, 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 boom. You get that done. Like say, I would say this: movies are like Game Boy games. There's not a lot to the Game Boy games. You know what I mean? They're like 50 minutes or less each one. Movies, you watch it maybe 2 hours, boom, you finish it one night, and then you could check it off your backlog. Now, when it comes down to reading stuff, um, yeah, unless you're reading more slice of life comedy stuff that really doesn't have a long full on story like Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, etc. I think that could also be, your karma could actually kick out, for example. That's not like a huge story base, that's more slice of life. So something like that could be done, you know, like how I see it is like this. If you want a a simple time, I would say this: slice of life, Game Boy games, and movies. But if you want a long pace, JRPGs, a shonen like Dragon Ball, because that's long, and full on 2 hour plus movies that is a movie series. You know what I mean? And of course, this could be like other types of movies. Maybe like 80s action films and stuff like that. So it doesn't have to be just specifically anime related. So yeah. Now, next I would say when it comes down to the backlogs is it's really important to stay focused and be like, yo, okay, I want to do this. Because if you're jumping around from, say, I'm going to watch, I'm going to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, then I'm going to jump to Dragon Ball, and then I'm going to jump to this. You're never going to complete nothing. It's going to be so overwhelming. Like, for example, imagine playing three Mario Party 4, 5, and 6, trying to complete each one. It's like, yo, you're going to be worn out and feel like, okay, later on. Then, later on, few years pass, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I never beat that or completed it fully. So, in my opinion on that, try to organize really well. You know what I mean? Be like, okay, I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy 9. Okay, that's going to be the main deal. I'm going to read, here and there of the One Piece, of course. Okay, now One Piece is its own category. Okay, all of this is, One Piece is all the way over here, while reality is over here. Okay, that's you need commitment. That's a life commitment right there. You know, but you know what I mean. So, oh yeah, let's put that. No one wants to be on that all the way where it's like 1,000 plus chapters. And from what I hear from a friend, and it's like, yo, okay, that's like something. If you really don't want nothing to do, you got it. Go to One Piece. No hate to One Piece, but let's be honest. Okay, Yokohama Kagashi, Kikao, Neon Genesis Evangelion, they have, you could get through that in a week. You know what I mean? Reading those chapters, watch the anime, and chilling. You know what I mean? So overall, I would say unless it's nothing, unless it's like something insane, again, One Piece, like so much, then I think you're good. You know what I mean? It could be manageable. I would say backlog wise, just like divide it. Be like, okay, I'm going to play this one. I'm gonna play Luigi's Mansion again. I'm gonna use that one. Big game like Luigi's Mansion. I'm going to read some chapters of Neon Genesis and Evangelion. Maybe watch, maybe have like a long list of animes. Watch some slice of lives like Yokohama Kakashi, Kikao. And yeah, I think as long as you have everything organized and everything like a mindset of, okay, this is going to be good, then I think you complete everything eventually. And that's another thing. It doesn't have to be done right away. Sometimes, new games come and I talk with a lot of friends and different people and they tell me, oh man, I just want to beat this game. I mean, in my opinion, if you trying to rush something, like I understand, don't get me wrong. We have limited time, this and that, other things to do, responsibilities. But don't rush it. You know what I mean? Like if you want to, like for example, Final Fantasy, right? That's a long game. You are not beating that in like one day, in one sitting. Even if you know exactly where everything is, every specific item, every little thing, what, whatever, etc., etc. Right? You're not beating that in one day. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe you could. I'm not sure, but I cannot imagine beating a huge JRPG in one day like that. That's just like like three, like classic Final Fantasy, say Final Fantasy 9, right? Which has 3 discs on PS1. I it's mind blowing that to even think beating a game like that in one day. It's like okay, no, you know, don't get me wrong, Final Fantasy 9, amazing, I love it, but dude, just like wow, uh, you know what I mean? Like I love Splatoon, but constantly going at it in Splatoon, it's gonna kind of get boring. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like, oh man, doing the same thing over and over. But that's just how I feel. Maybe you could relate. But yeah, I think long story short, back in topic, don't try to rush everything. You know what I mean? If you're gonna read a chapter of, say, Evangelion, you know, don't be just like going at it. Nah, man, you need to enjoy it, admire the time. The product you have purchased with your hard work and money, because then you're just gonna be dust collecting. You're gonna be like, oh, I already played that game. Oh, I played it to the point of I don't feel like it. You know what I mean? And I've heard that a few times in the past from other people. They're like, yeah, man, that game is cool. I love it, but man, I played so much of it back then. I think I'm good. You know what I mean? And then it gets to the discussion of, so like you want to sell it maybe, or you think you're good, you just have it there as a trophy display. Like, yo, I did that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, many conversations have gotten was created due to being put in that situation. So, and I enjoyed it. It was interesting, even other people's perspectives and all of that. So, yeah. Now, I would say when it comes down to it, overall, backlogs may, and outside, if you're really overthinking it, you're going to be exhausted. You're going to be annoyed. You're going to be like, yo, what? I don't want to do this. Look at all these games. I don't even have enough time. This and that. Oh, school, this, that, dude. It's like, you need to organize. As long as you have things organized, backlogs are not even an issue. Trust me. I see a lot of videos because I like to listen to other opinions and other things. And backlogs is something that I've been interested in, hearing what other people say, how they be, picking off each game off their list of, okay, I beat that, I read that, I watched that. You know what I mean? And, a lot of times I agree, a lot of times I disagree. And what I could say is everything is all about management. You know what I mean? like say I work, okay, I have 6 hours that I work this job. I have this amount of time that I'm free. I also enjoy to do other things outside. So this is the amount of time that I have to do that. So if you have 3 hours a day, you're pitching off on, say, Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door over here, which is a JRPG. So, you have 3 hours. You could put 3 hours all in that game, or you could be like, okay, 1 hour this. I could unlock some stuff on this, which is not a big game again. This is like a more smaller game. And I could give some time on Mario Party 5 to unlock everything. You know what I mean? 1 hour, boom, boom, you get coins, unlock stuff in the store. You know what I mean? So, or maybe you want to read a little bit of Yokohama Kadashi Kikao or any other book, manga, etc. So, yeah. In my opinion, overall, backlog shouldn't be having this huge negative feel towards it, which I'm keep on hearing constantly. A lot of people say, like, oh man, those backlogs. Because at that point, it makes me feel like, so basically, a lot of people feel like they have to do this. If you feel like you have to do that, that's not passion. And that's blindness. And in my opinion, you are forcing yourself to do that, and you yourself, you're not aware of that, but you just want to get it done because you think you have to. There's no love, there's no passion, there's no excitement. That's just how I see it. Because, for example, me, I have a backlog, like they say. And I always be like, okay, I'm going to eventually get to this one, but I'm going to be excited for that one. You know what I mean? I'm excited to play. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to take my time for it. I'm not in no rush. That's just how I see it. We need to try to make this positive, not negative. So overthinking it, feeling overwhelmed, and this and that, that's not the way. That's how the passion goes away. So that's just all I wanted to say. Leave in the comments what you all think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.